Hey, Ed here. Welcome to another episode of Ed Talks. I'm super excited to introduce you to a friend of mine, Priyam. Priyam is the CEO and founder of My Benefits AI. Priyam, welcome to Ed Talks.
Hey, thank you, Ed. Nice to have you here.
So I'll do a self-disclosure right up front. I do work with My Benefits AI. Priyam convinced me. It didn't take a lot of convincing because I knew exactly the problem that MyBenefits.ai was solving, and you'll agree here in a second when I ask Priyam sort of to introduce the company and what they do. But I've dealt with this my entire career, a huge gap in care that hasn't been adequately addressed by any vendor to date. And so Priyam and his company fill that gap. And so with that, let's just jump right in, because this is really a great opportunity for some organization that wants to get in early to really come alongside MyBenefits.ai and really prove out the use case, which we've done already, and we'll get to that. But just another validation, because it's amazing how all the stars have aligned globally for MyBenefits.ai to just really take off. So Priyam, way long introduction that I just made, but why don't you introduce yourself to the audience, sort of the background, where you come from, and then how you got into healthcare.
Absolutely. Hey, my name is Priyam. I'm the founder, CEO of MyBenefits.ai. I used to I'm a tech guy since last 15, 20 years. I worked for companies like Facebook, and I was part of the tech team building up large data pipelines and building up experiences that matter to people using data. So data was my strength. And then really I started MyBenefits.ai when my dad was diagnosed with colorectal cancer. And when we came home, we had so many questions about the surgery, and we had so much things that we were not sure of. And he was readmitted. So as soon as that whole experience that I felt and my family felt, we felt like we need to build up a solution that caters to the patient needs while supporting the hospital on what the patient is going through during that time. It's hospital to home immediately, first 24 hours and the first 30 days of the care. That's when I realized that to build up MyBenefits.ai using technology and data.
Yeah, Priyam, what I really appreciate about your approach, and one reason I was interested in jumping on and being part of the board, is that you take a diet approach. So while you have a great, we don't have time to go into it. You can look on the website. The technical team is second to none, but you also have clinicians. So you have a diet model, you have other clinicians that are on board helping out. So it's really a balanced approach. Sometimes we get startups, that are all about the tech, which is great. We need that tech, but they don't really know healthcare. And so with you and the team, you have the best of both. So that's really great. So tell us about, I know there's already been a pilot, super successful. Tell us about that pilot. And then I'll just ask the question after that, if I'm interested, like as an organization, to be part of another pilot, what do I do? So tell us about the very successful pilot you just wrapped up.
No, thanks, Ed. So as soon as we started sharing what we were trying to build, we encountered with a CEO. His name is Paulo Zambito, and we shared with him what we were trying to build, what is the real technology behind this, and why we are building this. He really got it, and he said, "Okay, let's go and do a pilot with a hospital in Louisiana." And we started with a pilot with 100 patients in urology, where we try to understand was how are the patients performing, or how are the patients doing once they reach home. Now, all these patients are not, they're ranging from 25 years old to 75-year-old. So we wanted to understand the patient behavior. We wanted to understand how the patients are reporting their symptoms back to hospital, and how do we take data by care type. Within urology, there are 5-6 different types of surgical procedures. How do we take each care and really provide that data back? And what we learned was amazing, that the patients were responding to how they are feeling. What are the pains? What are the fevers? Are they able to function properly once they reach home? And so that data given back in an automation way to the hospital was a very powerful data point. And the hospitals were really excited to see how the patients were performing. I will call one important thing. When we asked this same thing with the UCSF, the UCSF said when the patient leaves the hospital, um, it is a black box to us.
Yeah.
We are not sure how the patient is performing once they reach home, or either the patient calls back, or we follow up with the patient. So it is a very important thing that we were building. Now, we were using every data point in the patient education, patient triage, patient automation of follow-up, patient path to recovery, and that's how we build this use case.
Yeah, and just to quickly summarize, because I don't want to sound like a commercial, because that's really not the intent. The intent here is to see if there's interest in any of the audience who wants to take part in a pretty exciting pilot of this product. But it was really hitting on the quadruple aim. I mean, you improved the experience by far, and all this is data verified in the pilot. Reduced cost, improved clinician burnout issues that they had, so it helped with staffing. I mean, it hits all the numbers that people are, or all the metrics that people are looking to hit. And it has been a historical gap in care for people. I know myself as having some significant issues in the past and being a patient, what it was like, despite, where I received my care. And so having something right there that's integrated into the electronic health record is really key. So excellent pilot. I know we have some other things going on globally as well that are super exciting, but we'll save that for another time. Priyam, if someone is listening and they're like, hey, I want to learn a little bit more, of course, we'll put the website in the comment section. But if they want to be part of a pilot, what would that require? Like, because, I know all our colleagues are super busy and they're like, oh, I'd love to do it, but man, a pilot, I don't have time for it. What would it require? What's the approximate length? And what are the benefits to being part of a pilot?
Absolutely. So My Benefit Discharge Plus is a plug and play solution. Easy to onboard at any provider and patients with a simple 3 clicks. So once they create an account, automatically the patient is generated in their radar system at the provider with a beautiful dashboard where they can see the patient and they can track patient, and the patients are provided with a web link. They do not have to download an app. They do not have to do anything else. They click on the link with the security, with all security levels. They can just follow their discharge plan in a very simple, easy to use way in 3 different ways. Now, in 3 different steps. Number 1, they would be able to say, hey, what is my education? What happened to me? The second is, can I report any symptoms 24 hours, 7 days, in 30 days? Once they report those symptoms, it's all automated. They can do on demand as well. And lastly, every patient wants to get better. They want to get better. They want to get better sooner. So that they can report all that, understand what they can do to improve their quality of life once the surgery is over. So it's very easy to onboard any hospital with a simple plug and play solution.
Yeah, it is. I've seen it. It is pretty simple. What's the length of a pilot? What would you recommend, like, in terms of weeks?
Ideally, we would like to do around 2 months, which is 60 days of pilot to get the customers onboarded. We can show the data back, the ROI, the readmissions, the recovery rates, and all that to give a better sense to the hospital and the patients.
Yeah, and without giving away too much, those who participate in the pilot, a lot of immediate benefits that we already spoke about, but also as the product is launched globally with some, and we're going to be scant on the details here, but with some pretty large scale projects, it's super beneficial for organizations to get engaged now that are interested in AI, that are interested in innovation, that are interested in improving patient experience, that are interested in reducing costs from readmissions, for those interested in improving revenues from the CPT code that is generated from this close of gap in care. So Priyam, any final words as we end our EDTalks?
Absolutely. Thank you, Ed, for giving me the opportunity. But we are excited. We just filed the patent just the day before Thanksgiving. So we are super excited. When we talk with the patent attorneys on the need and the value that we're going to provide through this platform, it was they said this is a fantastic platform. And because it's really a data-driven platform, we are excited. I think it will bring great benefits to the hospitals as well as patients. And it's a win-win for both. I think giving us the opportunity, we'll do all the work. Yeah. And we'll show the real ROI.
Yeah. I mean, this would be a godsend to me when I was a CIO to have a fairly mature product coming in to do a pilot, doing all the things that we already mentioned in terms of the benefits and the metrics and improving patient care. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Again, Priyam, thank you so much for being part of EDTalks. I'll drop all your contact information in the comment section. So if anyone's interested, please reach out to Priyam or myself. All right, thank you. And that wraps up another edition of EDTalks.